Hi everyone and welcome back to Nick's Diecast. For today's video I'll be showing you and reviewing this 1/18 scale Bentley Mulsanne made by Rastar, or Rastar. It's R-A-S-T-A-R. I have two models by Rastar, this one and also the Bugatti Veyron. I can tell you right now that this Bentley Mulsanne is miles better in terms of quality. This model retails for between like $30 and $40, factoring shipping there as well. And this is probably one of the best budget model cars you can buy for under $50. The detailing, I would say, compares to that of models that cost $100 or more. Kyosho makes their own Bentley Mulsanne, and when you compare this one to it, I would just say, like, forget about the Kyosho. For like the small price you can get this Rastar model at, it's just incredible the level of detail that they put into this model. And as you saw with my Bugatti Veyron review, the quality wasn't like too great in some areas, but on this Bentley Mulsanne model, it just shines in almost every area. It's just excellent in terms of pretty much every aspect of quality. So let's go ahead here and check out the front of the model to start out with. We'll go ahead and start with these headlights up here. Rastar did a good job with these headlights. You can see that they did the bulb in the middle there, and also the LED pattern is kind of like a circle that forms along the perimeter of the main headlight bulb. No pegs to be seen, and the lenses are nice and flush with the body. They have this like chrome trim around them, which is actually a separate piece. They don't look loose or anything. They don't have any big gaps in them. They just almost look perfect. They kind of have the effect of being turned on when you put this car at a certain angle too, which is really cool to see. This grille is actually a perforated mesh grille, which you almost never see on any budget models. It's like really hard to see here, especially like with the camera, but it definitely is perforated, and you can see it especially from an angle and up close, and that's really cool because most budget models don't do that at all. Like Maisto, Welly, none of them usually do that. This lower grille here is also perforated, as you can see. Would have been cool to see this in silver. I think on the real Mulsanne, it's black and not silver, but that's just kind of like a random thing, I guess. There's a Bentley license plate right here that looks pretty good. Bumper is also made out of metal. And this Bentley badge up here, that's a separate piece. That's a separate piece. It looks like it's made of metal, even though it's plastic. They did a really good job with it. It's put on nice and centered. It looks excellent. Paint quality, I would say, is very good overall. Rastar went with this nice like beige metallic color. They also make this model in black metallic as well. That's actually easier to find now online than this beige version. I got this actually 3 years ago. I think they still make it in this beige. It's just easier to find the black version. And that they both have the same interior, like the two-tone beige and brown interior. The mirrors look pretty good. They're nice and sturdy. There's a little bit of like a rough edge on this mirror. Kind of looks cheap, especially when you look at it up close. But from a distance, you really can't see it that much. So that's kind of like a small thing. But side windows are on this model, and they look excellent. All the chrome trim you see, it looks like it's made of metal, and it's a really nice high quality of chrome too. It's separate plastic pieces, but the chrome quality looks great. All the door handles are made of separate pieces, as you can see here. The wheels look pretty good. They have the Bentley logo in the middle. These spokes should probably be more hollowed out, so they do look a bit off if you compare it to like the real wheel on the Mulsanne, but on this model, they look pretty good. There are disc brakes and calipers. They say Bentley on the calipers, and that's actually raised up plastic if you look at it really closely. The calipers don't have any detail on them. They're just like these black discs, but they do move through the caliper. I'm sorry. The disc brakes don't have that much detail on them, but the calipers do, and the disc brakes do move through the calipers. Full suspension, as you can see here, and also steering, which is nice to see. The tires do say Rastar on them, which they also put on their Bugatti Veyron, which looks a bit, toyish, but you really can't see it from this angle the way that I have the camera, and unless you look at it really close, you can't even tell that the tires have like imprints on them, or have the Rastar on them. Now, some versions of this model I've seen on other reviews, they have the loose taillight issue, but mine doesn't have that. If you tap on them, they don't move or anything like that. No pegs to be seen in the taillights. They have those like the 3 light bulbs, I guess you can call them. They're behind the lens and they look really good. Same thing with this one. More chrome trim back here, looks great. This Bentley badge is just as amazing looking as the badge on the front. That's a full separate piece, and it's also kind of a reflective piece too. The one in the front doesn't reflect as much as the one in the back, but they still look equally excellent. So now for the multitude of opening features on this model. We'll go ahead and start back here with the trunk. Kind of hard to get this open, but this model does come with this door opener tool that I have back here. I think it's just hilarious that it's shaped like a key. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. I'm not going to take it out for now just because it's kind of hard to get out with on one hand. But this trunk, you can see, is fully carpeted. You run your finger along that, it feels like felt carpeting. Just excellent. Pretty much no models for this price range have carpeting like that. And even on the underside of the trunk lid, it also has felt carpeting. That's just excellent. The carpeting, like when you look at it, does look a bit, like not like actual automotive carpeting, but when you feel it, it feels like real carpeting. And when you look at it from a distance too, that's just an excellent touch. And I don't know how Rastar did this with the budget price range of like $30. It's just amazing to me. This chrome you see right here is plastic, but it still looks pretty good. This inside of the trunk is actually painted black, just like on the real car, which is nice to see. This is a bit loud when you close it. It just kind of echoes. Now for the hood. A cool feature is that you can open up the hood by pushing this little button down here. And it opens up like so. Just like on a higher end model, like the Kyosho version, for example. Engine detailing, I would say, is fair for this price range. There's really nothing in the front here. There should be like a 6.75 liter twin turbo, or I probably got the numbers messed up, but there should be some kind of inscription where this silver trapezoid is right here. And there should be labels and other stuff here, but they don't do that. Rastar doesn't include that. The main engine block back here does look pretty good though. They have Bentley on either side. It looks kind of faded though. So it is several plastic pieces, but I wish they had like more depth to it. These vents on here, on the Kyosho version, they're of course made of metal. On this one, they look just as, they look pretty good, I would say. This Bentley badge back here, that's actually a sticker. That's not a separate badge. So decent job on the engine, I would say. Not, perfect, and also not, terrible either. The underside of the hood has this kind of cool pattern on it, which I like. They didn't just like leave it as like an undersprayed piece. On this model, all 4 doors open. You can use a door opener tool if you want. I personally just use my fingernail because I can actually fit it in those door handles. And this reveals pretty much like the holy grail interior of budget model cars. This interior is just amazing for the $30 to $40 price range. It's just wow. Just looking at it, full carpeting, as you can see here, beige in color, just like inside the trunk. You just run your finger along that. They even put it in the back too. It's like the whole interior is fully carpeted. These seat belts are fabric seat belts with these little buckles. The buckles aren't metal, but they sure look like that they're made of metal. So the fabric seat belts by every seat. The seats themselves look like real leather and look like real seats, especially if like you run your finger along them. The seat controls are also painted on nicely. They even put like the Mulsanne door sills next to each of the doors. Just excellent. Even on the door panels, all the buttons are done nicely. Separate pieces for the door handles. They put in this is called piano black wood locker, and that's what was available actually on the real Mulsanne, which is cool to see. Just incredible attention to detail for this price range. I can't believe this is just too good to be. I thought it was too good to be true, and then I got this model, and then I was just in awe at how amazing the detail is in here. It's just incredible. Full headliner as well. You can see the buttons back here on this set of controls, and also at the front, right behind the rear view mirror. And on the dashboard, on the center console, all the buttons are separately labeled, and they're done in like a nice silver. They look really good. The air vents, they're painted in chrome, look like they're made of metal. The dashboard has this nice leather pattern to it, and it's kind of done in like a two-tone look. Just they did a beautiful job with this interior. Very, very incredible. Let's look at this side too. Steering wheel looks pretty good. Gauge cluster, the gauges look like the gauges are stickers, just like you'd see in pretty much any other like model car. They're put on kind of crooked a little bit, but from a distance you really just can't tell. So that's not like a big deal at all. You can kind of take a look at the back seat too. Incredible, incredible interior. Probably the best interior for the budget model car price range. And this car, from what I know, is still available today. The prices have gone up a little bit. It's no longer just $30 flat. It's probably closer to $40 now. But even for that, this, like, you could pay $70 for this car, or even $80, and it would still be worth it because of the level of detail that's in it. It's just incredible, impressive. Every aspect of this model, I'd say, is just impressive. We'll close these doors up. They kind of have like a self-closing feature like that, which is kind of cool to see. Let's see, last but not least, we'll take a look at the undercarriage here. Not too much to see. There is a full exhaust system, as you can see here, and they do put a little bit of detail back here as well. Like, you see the suspension springs too. But other than that, really, not really too much to see. They at least put the exhaust system in there, which I think is good. And it's not chrome like you would see on, like, you know, Maestos or Barago models or anything like that. This could definitely be mistaken for an Auto Art or a Kyosho. Even from the exterior, it just looks excellent. One thing to note now, the panel gaps are a bit big. Especially, they're almost like hilariously big on this model. But on the metallic black version, they're probably like invisible because the panel gaps are dark and the car is dark. But that really, considering all the other detail that's on this model, that really is not a big deal to me at all. If you can find this model, and if you want like a budget model in your collection that just shines in every area, and if you want to, you know, like a model that has all 4 opening doors, that has carpeting and everything like that, then this is your cheap method of getting that, is through Rastar's amazing Bentley Mulsanne. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I hope this helps in terms of, you know, if you want to figure out if you want to get this model or not. As always, make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel, and also be sure to take a look at my Instagram page, which is called Nick's Diecast page, which is all lowercase and no spacing. Definitely more videos to come, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, everyone.